The variation of ionization enthalpy across a period and down the group can be explained in terms of two factors: effective nuclear charge and shielding effect. The effective nuclear charge experienced by the valence electron will be less due to shielding of the valence electron from the nucleus by the electrons present in the inner shells. It means if electrons are present in the inner shells, those electrons will shield the valence electron from the nucleus. Now consider lithium. You know that the atomic number is 3 and the electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s1. So in the case of lithium, the valence electron is in the 2s orbital, which is the inner shell. The first shell is the inner shell, and we have 2 electrons in the inner shell. So these 2 electrons present in the inner shell will shield the valence electron from the nucleus. So as a result, the effective nuclear charge experienced by the valence electron will be less. Therefore, less amount of energy will be required to remove that electron which is present in the valence shell. Therefore, we can say that it has lower ionization enthalpy. Now, as we move down the group, we have to know out of two factors, that is nuclear charge, effective nuclear charge and shielding effect, which one dominates or outweighs. It is found that shielding effect outweighs the effective nuclear charge. How does it happen? See, as we move down the group, we know that atomic number increases. The nuclear charge therefore increases. But you know that as we move down the group, new shells are also being added. More number of electrons will be now present in the inner shells. Since more number of electrons are present in the inner shells, the shielding effect will also be more. So as we move down the group, shielding effect outweighs nuclear charge. Since shielding effect outweighs, the valence electron will experience lesser effective nuclear charge. Therefore, less amount of energy will be required to remove the valence electron. Therefore, ionization enthalpy decreases down the group. Next, we have to consider how the ionization enthalpy vary across a period, and out of the factors effective nuclear charge and shielding effect, which will dominate. As we move across a period, we know that no new shells are added. But we know that atomic number increases across a period. Since the atomic number increases, effective nuclear charge will also increase. But what about shielding effect? We know that no new shells are added across a period. Since no new shells are added, there will not be any change in the number of electrons present in the inner shells. So shielding effect remains almost the same. So which factor will outweigh? Effective nuclear charge will outweigh. Since effective nuclear charge increases, more amount of energy will be required to remove the electron. Or we can say that as we move across a period, effective nuclear charge outweighs shielding effect, and hence more amount of energy will be required to remove an electron, and hence the ionization enthalpy increases across a period. We know that as we move across a period, ionization enthalpy increases. In a period, boron comes after beryllium. So we expect the ionization enthalpy of boron to be higher than that of beryllium. But boron has lower ionization enthalpy. What is the reason? To understand that, consider the electronic configuration of beryllium and boron. The atomic number of beryllium is 4, so the electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2. The atomic number of boron is 5, and therefore the electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p1. So in the case of beryllium, an s electron has to be removed, whereas in the case of boron, a p electron has to be removed. An s electron is attracted to the nucleus more than a p electron. Therefore, it will be easier to remove the 2p electron from boron compared to a 2s electron from beryllium. So this is the reason why boron has lower ionization enthalpy compared to beryllium. Similarly, though oxygen comes after nitrogen in the period, the ionization enthalpy of oxygen is lower than that of nitrogen. What is the reason? For that, consider the electronic configuration of both nitrogen and oxygen. The electronic configuration of nitrogen is 1s2, 2s2, 2p3. That of oxygen is 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. So in nitrogen, the three 2p electrons are in different orbitals. One is in 2px, the other is in 2py, and the third electron is in 2pz orbital. So the three 2p electrons are in different orbitals. Whereas in oxygen atom, two of the four 2p electrons occupy the same 2p orbital. You can see the diagram. Out of the four 2p electrons, two of them occupy the same 2p orbital. So this results in electron-electron repulsion, as a result of which it will be easier to remove the fourth 2p electron from oxygen. Therefore, oxygen has lower ionization enthalpy compared to nitrogen. We have studied that ionization enthalpy is the energy required to remove an electron from an atom. So let us now try to learn the energy changes that occur when an electron is added to an atom. This energy change that occurs when an electron is added to an atom is known as electron gain enthalpy. It provides a measure of the ease with which an atom adds an electron. That is it easy for the atom to gain an electron, or is it difficult for the atom to gain an electron? Addition of electron to an atom can be represented as x plus E minus gives x minus. Depending on the element, the process of adding an electron to the atom can be either endothermic or exothermic.